So for me personally, my favourite music video that I still go back to this day is actually a Linkin Park song, which is Points of Authority, but the remix version, which was shortened and had lots of dots and hashtags, so it's more like Points of Authority. It's very weird, because I love them, Linkin Park as a band. I think they were fantastic, very formative to my childhood, and Chester's vocals were incredible. The way that he'd be able to like maintain really long scream notes was insane. But when I saw this video, which depicts them as decapitated heads, controlling a giant robotic army fighting an alien race, I just sat there like, as a kid, and just like, this is blowing my mind. And in fact, this came at a time when I was really starting to like look into sort of sci-fi as a hobby and getting into stuff like that. And it actually led me to like really get into Warhammer, because it was literally two alien armies smashing against each other. And yeah, the CGI was pretty ropey and very, very rubbery, to the point where the Scorpion King probably was about the same sort of like thing we're looking at. But honestly, it was such an enjoyable thing, because it was like our heroes bringing this city to life with the power of their music and then fighting back an alien horde. I was like, what a good metaphor for people who tell you they don't like your music taste. You just sort of put your headphones in and just turn it up louder. It was great, great time. Thanks, Chester.
I was watching this MTV thing the other day where they went through all the different years that there have been and said what the best music video in all of them was, and they got to 1994. Obviously the 90s was all like mad anyway, and the best they could come up with was Disarm by the Smashing Pumpkins, which is fine. It's alright, but it's mostly just Billy Corgan and Melissa Auf Moore like going for like 5 minutes. I was like, what else came out in 1994? So I looked, I did my research. Black Hole Sun, amazing. Boyz II Men, Basket Case, loads of stuff, but Sabotage by the Beastie Boys, which isn't just the best music video of 1994, but the best music video of full stop. Like, it's just, in a time when they started to take music videos seriously and make them like this weird extension of the song and they had to fit perfectly and it was all a big artistic thing. Like, they just gave the Beastie Boys and Spike Jonze like a couple of grand and they went out and bought a knackered old Chevrolet, then drove around Los Angeles for like 3 days shooting as many different police skits as they could possibly think, because they've been watching loads of like old 70s cop shows, which just at the start of the 90s is where it was okay to finally pastiche the 70s, but no one had really done it. So they started doing all these cool skits where they were like tackling like fat guys into pools and like throwing megaphones and swilling the car around, and they used like a stock piece of footage of an exploding car which doesn't fit with it at all. And it's just, it fits the song so well without having anything to do with the song at all, because they had like 3 days worth of footage. All illegally filmed, by the way. Nothing was cleared with like the Los Angeles like safety board or whatever they are. There was no fire, no EMTs, nothing. No insurance signed off. They just drove around, skidded a car around all these back streets and just gave all the footage to Spike Jonze and went, there you go, do something banter with that. And then he went on to make Jackass afterwards, so like, it's perfect. It's just the best music video because you can watch it over and over and over again and see like entirely different things. It's great, I like it.
James, now,
yep.
What's the best music video of all time?
2012, beautiful year, absolutely beautiful year. And what was the song of that year, Ash? That one, it was Gangnam Style.
What?
However, that's not my answer because it was a memorable song and everybody remembers that dance, so you've got to somehow say that that was a good music video. But alas, that's not my answer, because my answer is Mumford & Sons with Hopeless Wanderer. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Mumford & Sons. Mumford and Sons.
Mumford and Sons.
But they have a music video with Ed Helms in it, Will Forte, Jason Sudeikis, and Jason Bateman. All these American comedians, all these classic fellas. They're all classic fellas, and they're all pretending to be Mumford and Sons. And just like, they have fun with it, and they smash instruments, they smash violins, smash banjos in the deep south of America, and then they start getting off of each other for some reason. I don't know why they do that,
just
but
like Mumford & Sons in reality?
It's just what they do as typical American comedian fellas. And they have fun with it, and it's just a really fun music video which just makes you laugh. And there's lots and lots out there. Obviously you got the OK Go music videos which are just perfect. All these different music videos, but that for me makes me laugh and I like it.
Right, well,
there's lots of music videos that could fall into this category because it is such a broad question. But my favourite type of music video, therefore the best of all time, is one that tells a story, one that has a narrative behind it, that can be extrapolated upon, that can be turned into like a little mini dive-in of a film that is just like a basically music video length. So short films that turn into music videos, I think, is my favourite sort of thing. So ones that play out in that way, like Fight Star's Waste a Moment was one that I really loved growing up, which is like a really weird shout out, but it was one that I always really loved because it was about this this like weird little devil boy on train tracks, like luring a man in there, and it's good if you can find it anywhere. It doesn't exist on the internet anymore. I've tried to find it. There's only one with all the cut bits out of the demon. So you know what? If you can find it, let me know. But I think the best music video of all time, and it is the most basic bitch answer I can give, but I have to say it because A, it's John Landis, and B, it's B-movie horror goodness, and that's Thriller by Michael Jackson. Like, it has to be said. You can't do a list like this and not have it on it. It's a great music video. It is 13 minutes long, and Thriller the song is not 13 minutes long, so fair enough if that's a point of contention, but everything in it is just good fun. Like, it's entertaining. It has music and choreography, wonderful bit of dancing. Ooh, here it is. Lovely bit of dancing. It has great costuming. It has the monsters, like the were-cat wolf thing that Michael Jackson turns into, as well as all the zombies as well, and the like shout outs to little horror niche references. I just think it's fantastic. And the way it kind of like flips between reality and this dreamy, spooky world is just so good. And it's like a Halloween classic, isn't it? Like, we're only in November, it's not that far gone. I remember it, 31st of October, what a time. Thriller by Michael Jackson on all the night, along with Monster Mash, like, the good stuff. But yeah, I just think it's one of the most, for me, one of the best conceptualized and realized videos, even if it is the most plain answer I can give. But yeah, there we go. It's a good one. It's the true one. It is the best music video of all time.
Well, the problem is, Adam Cleary, you are actually right, because Spike Jonze has made some of the best, if not the best, music videos of all time. Like you mentioned, Sabotage by the Beastie Boys. He obviously did Weapon of Choice by Fatboy Slim. But I don't want to talk about either a high-concept video or the most music video today, like November Rain or something. I want to talk about something that just has a central point. It's pretty minimalist, and it just does what it sets out to do really well, and that is the sound by the 1975. Because, to give you a bit of context, everyone hated this band when they first debuted their first album. You hated them. You hated them, everyone at home probably hated them, and most importantly, he still hates them, and I hated them as well. The problem was that they just seemed like a really kind of, you know, pretentious pretty boy band who was doing the same thing everyone else was. But they weren't, and when they came around to their second album, which was I Like It When You Sleep, For You Are So Beautiful and Yet So Unaware of It, or something ridiculous and wanky as that, they released The Sound, which was the third single, I think, and had a music video where they were literally just trapped in a box because, you know, obviously the music press had put them in a box, but they were rallying against that, and it was a simple video. They had embraced neon after the black and white of the first album era. And the genius move was that they flashed up actual criticism from both comments on the internet and actual critics that were just kind of slating them, to be honest. Because everyone went in on this band for whatever reason. So they flashed them up and they're playing against the music. And suddenly, they've got this deep sense of self-awareness. They know what they are. They understand the criticism, and they're saying, look, we don't care, this is what we're doing, we like what we're doing, and that's awesome. And because I live by the mantra of like what you like, that absolutely won me over. I secretly liked a lot of the tracks before that. I liked, you know, Chocolate or Sex and stuff, but I didn't like the band until this music video, and it single-handedly, you know, won me round, and I think it has for a lot of people. That's the music video I always send people, because not only is the song very good, it has a great message, it's well delivered, it's so simple yet so effective, it'll make you a true believer.
Well, one of these days, James Dowse, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to give you an honest appraisal of what is legitimately what I think is the best thing that we are discussing. But today, my friend, is not that day, because my favourite music video of all time is a banter music video, and it is the song All Shall Fall by Immortal, who are, of course, one of the most famous black metal bands of all time. Now, I love black metal. I love bands like Darkthrone. I love Immortal themselves. I love Uada, I love Wolves in the Throne Room, I love Deafheaven, more modern examples that will get me hate from purists, I know. But the thing about black metal is I love the atmosphere, I love the shredding riffs, the tremolo picking, I love the blast beats, I love the intensity, I love all of it. The thing with black metal is it's inherently ridiculous. You got these guys in their corpse paint and they've got the studded wristbands and they've got decapitated goat heads like Mayhem on stage, and they take themselves really seriously and they moan about not being true cult enough and how you dare put a little bit of melody in this song. That's not true, that's not underground. What Immortal do as one of the most famous bands in the entire genre is they take that and they embrace it with this stupid music video. 3 of them, they're on top of the mountain, right? There's storms, there's snow everywhere. You know that little crab walk that the Attack did a few years ago? Got it from Immortal because here it is on the video right now. These grown men who look like pandas, right, have somehow gotten all their gear up to the top of this mountain where it's blowing up mad storm, thrashing out, shredding riffs, pounding the drums. It's 5 minutes of the most incredible, stupid spectacle, and that's why I love it, because these guys know exactly how ridiculous this thing is. They understand it and they embrace it without turning it into a complete parody, which is what many of these things can turn out as. And that's why they're one of the most revered bands in the genre, because they offer something different. They're not pole-faced. They're much like Fenriz and Darkthrone, another guy who doesn't take all this stupid nonsense seriously and recognizes that moaning about not being elite and cult and all this stuff is stupid, and so is burning churches, and so is stabbing your best mate. Like, it's not good practice. But Immortal are fun. It's a lazy comparison because they wear black and white face paint. They are the Kiss of black metal. They are loads of fun. They infuse their music with just a nice thrashy bounce that isn't always present elsewhere. And this video with these panda dopes just thrashing out on the mountain is my favorite thing ever.